Welcome to Shamanism Unleashed with Shaman Gabriel. This is going to be a grounded introduction to shamanism, modern shamanism designed for real-world transformation. So in this webinar, we will explore shamanism and emotional intelligence, learning how awareness and nervous system regulation becomes true spiritual power. Then we'll move into shamanic essentials for modern life, applying ancient tools in practical, embodied, and new ways. You'll discover the shamanic path of transformation, turning crisis into initiation and growth. And I'll show you how to tap into shamanism through our courses and books, and how to approach trauma healing in a way that feels empowering and not heavy or overwhelming. So let's get into it. Okay guys, thank you again so much for joining this webinar. So Shamanic Essentials for Modern Life is about bringing ancient wisdom into everyday reality. That's the main thing. Shamanism isn't about escaping society or performing elaborate ceremonies. At its core, it's about perception, presence, and personality responsibility. In the modern world, your nervous system is your sacred instrument. Learning to regulate it is one of the most powerful spiritual skills you can develop. Now, the first essential is awareness, noticing your thoughts, emotions, and energetic shifts without immediately reacting. The second is emotional regulation, transforming triggers into information rather than conflict. And the third is shadow integration, really recognizing the parts of yourself you have rejected and learning to reclaim them with compassion. The fourth is intentional ritual, simple daily practices that anchor focus and clarity. The fifth is connection to nature, remembering that your body and mind operate by natural rhythms, not digital urgency. So modern shamanism teaches you to move through stress, relationships, leadership, and uncertainty with grounded stability. Now, it's not mystical performance, it is embodied discipline. And when you apply these essentials consistently, you become less reactive, more intuitive, and deeply aligned. This is how ancient practice becomes modern power. And our power is in the first essential, which is awareness. Anchoring our awareness and increasing our awareness and becoming sensitive to the energies around us makes us more available to those who need the energy, who need healing, who need assistance, who need guidance, who feel lost. And that's a lot of society. So you being able to anchor yourself into a different energy and to feel connected to nature and to have the awareness that you are everything allows an energy to be activated that other people can sense and feel. And this is the power of modern day shamanism, to know that you are the source. There is no middleman to you becoming the full energy that you are. And this is what this webinar is tapping into a little bit, touching on, and this is what our courses will tap into. So if you guys are interested, you can check out the links below, and there are some courses that you may enjoy in regards to shamanism, as well as a book series on Amazon called The Shamanic Path, which I wish I had when I first started this journey. Hello everyone. So the shamanic path of transformation begins with a call to change. So it's often disguised as a crisis, heartbreak, confusion, or deep sense of something in your life is misaligned. In shamanic understanding, these moments are not setbacks, they are initiations. Transformation requires a willingness to descend into the parts of yourself you have avoided, your fears, emotional wounds, and outdated identities. A foundational principle of this path is detachment. Detachment is not emotional numbness or withdrawal. It is conscious awareness without entanglement. It is the ability to observe your thoughts, habits, and emotional reactions without being ruled by them. And when you create space between stimulus and response, you interrupt old conditioning in that space. You regain authorship over your mind. Now, through awareness, you begin to reprogram inherited beliefs, release survival patterns, and install new perspectives aligned with your highest potential. So you stop reacting from past wounds and you start responding from present clarity. Accepting your power requires responsibility, the courage to let go of who you were in order to become who you are meant to be. This is the deeper work we explore in the Amazon book series, The Shamanic Path, written by myself and psychologist Yi Lin, a guided journey into detachment, reconditioning the mind, and embodied transformation. And if you guys want to go further into the shamanic path of sound healing, the shamanic path of chanting and invocations, or the shamanic path of different traditions, Native American, Taino, There are many different paths to the same teachings. And that's what we go through inside our courses and through the book, which you can find below in the resources. But the main path of transformation is the detachment from everything that you thought was you and letting your ego disintegrate. And this ego disintegration, this spiritual awakening, this finally awakening to your shadow, and then integrating that shadow slowly is what allows you to anchor this awareness into your present life. It's what allows you to feel the connection to nature all around you. It's what allows you to be the energy, be the shamanic energy, the modern person that is able to wear the mask, not be seen like a shaman, but to be able to drop the shamanic intuition, the shamanic teachings into everyday life, and not to preach, but to show. So that's what we're going to get into, and thank you for joining this webinar. Cheers to the journey. Hello everyone, my name is Shaman Gabriel. 12 years ago, I began a spiritual journey. I did not start this path to become a shaman. I started because I was hurting, I was confused, I was reacting to life instead of understanding it. I did not know how to handle my emotions. I did not know how to sit with pain. I didn't know how to feel anger without exploding or shutting down. So I began a journey. That journey led me into silence. It led me into nature. It led me into deeper self-reflection. It led me into ceremonies and sound. It led me into studying energy. And over time, I learned something powerful. Emotional intelligence is not just a skill. It is a spiritual practice. It is the ability to pause instead of react. It is the ability to feel without drowning. It is the ability to sense energy without absorbing it. And it is the courage to meet your deepest self. And today I want to share 3 pillars that changed my life. These 3 pillars helped me grow my emotional intelligence, and they helped me become calm in what you can consider chaos. They helped me become a safe space for others. They helped me become a vessel instead of a reactor. The 3 pillars are mindfulness, energy awareness, and the solo journey within. Let's begin. Pillar 1, mindfulness. This is the foundation. Emotional intelligence starts with awareness. Most people are not bad with emotions. They are just fast. Fast to react. Fast to defend. Fast to attack. Fast to shut down. Mindfulness teaches you to slow down. It teaches you to pause. And that pause is powerful. The pause creates power. The cow. There's a small space between something happening and your reaction. In that small space, you have a choice, but most people never see that space. They react before they think. Mindfulness helps you see the space. So it can be as simple as taking one deep breath. Someone says something that triggers you, instead of firing back, you breathe. You feel your body. You notice your heart beating faster. You notice your thoughts getting loud, building momentum. And in that moment, you say to yourself, I am feeling anger right now. Not, they made me angry, just, I'm feeling anger. And that small shift changes everything. You stop being the emotion. You start observing the emotion. When I first began my journey, I could not do this. If I felt hurt, I lashed out. If I felt rejected, I shut down. If I felt challenged, I became defensive. So for me, mindfulness taught me to sit in discomfort, to feel heat in my chest, to feel tightness in my throat, to feel tears in my eyes, and not to run. That is emotional intelligence. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. So presence regulates the nervous system, and presence is built through one's own awareness. So here's something important. When you are calm, others feel it. When you are grounded, others relax. Your nervous system sends signals to other people. If you are anxious, they feel it. If you are angry, they feel it. If you are peaceful, they feel that too. Mindfulness helps you regulate your nervous system. It slows your breath, it lowers your heart rate, and it tells your body you are safe. When you feel safe, you respond better. You speak more clearly. You listen more deeply. You do not try to win the moment. You try to understand it. And this is the base of emotional intelligence. But mindfulness alone is not enough. You must also understand energy. So that's where pillar 2 comes into place. Energy awareness and shamanic intelligence. Everything has energy. Your thoughts have energy, your words have energy, your emotions have energy. I would say that they are energy. And if you walk into a room where people just argued, you can feel it, the resonance of it, the reverberations of it. No one has to tell you the energy is heavy. So if you walk into a room full of laughter, you feel that too. So energy is real, and part of that emotional intelligence is learning how to sense energy without getting lost in it. When I began studying shamanism and walking the path, I learned how to feel subtle energies. I could sense when someone was sad, even when they were smiling, and I could sense tension in a room before anyone spoke. But here is the danger. If you're not aware, you start absorbing energy. Okay, you take on other people's sadness. You carry other people's stress. You mistake their emotions for yours. This leads to burnout. This leads to confusion. Emotional intelligence means knowing what is yours and what is not. Sometimes you feel anxious, but when you pause and check in, you realize this is not my anxiety. It belongs to the environment. It belongs to someone else. So you can care without carrying. You can feel without drowning. And one simple practice is this. Before entering a space, imagine light around your body. Not as protection from attack, but as a boundary. You are open but not absorbent. You are aware but not overwhelmed. That is energetic maturity. Now let's talk about frequency. Every motion has a vibration. Anger feels sharp. Fear feels tight. Love feels open. Peace feels wide. Sound can shift vibration.